for me, the dream or the vision is that the horse world would get rid of what I call the caging of the horses. Confinement for horses needs to stop. For me, the future of horses is horses that are on land. We're putting them back on land, and they're being able to do land management at the same time that they're actually benefiting from being in contact with that. At the same time, I think it's very important that we reinvent our relationship or the way we relate to horses and the things we do with them. So for me, activities need to become more collaborative instead of more competitive. I think the whole competitive paradigm in the horse world is a very unhealthy one right now, and we need to heal a lot of that. Not only horses, but also people need to heal from all the abuse that's going on in this world. And maybe we can reinvent the competition world. I'm not sure about whether that's possible, but we can definitely imagine and discover new ways in which we can do many interesting, fun, and collaborative activities with them. Yes, my name is Gemma Knowles.
Okay.
I am half English and half Spanish, and I live here in Girona, Spain.
Okay.
It's when I'm 25 and I buy my first horse.
Okay.
And I have a whole arrangement of experiences with him that take me to change my whole idea about what riding is about. With accidents and dangerous situations and difficult situations. It took me away from the traditional or conventional horse world and to start afresh on foot. Because I'm so afraid of riding him, but I don't want to sell him.
Okay.
So I discover a whole new path with my horse, discovering natural horsemanship, better communication, listening, understanding the horse better, just so that I could get along with this animal. He's actually now 37 years old in May.
Okay.
So he's still with me, and I love him to bits. I was able to ride him for many years until he was about 27. But he is my heart horse still, and we enjoy many things together still. Okay, well, I started getting out of my bubble with my horses. I moved to Girona, Spain, where I have them in a beautiful valley place. And I met Laura Jimenez through the adoption of 3 horses in 2020.
Okay.
And by meeting her, I started getting more interested in what was going on in the horse world. And through Larry, I was finding out that there were still a lot of things that were not happening in the welfare of horses. So I've been running a foundation for the welfare of animals and the protection of nature for 25 years. So it became rather a very curious thing to me that there was a lot going on in the dog and cat world and a lot for nature protection, but not very much was happening in the horse world. So I thought, Larry, we got to do something about this. Why don't we do an event where we bring in the people you know that are already in this path of really changing things, and we can get people to come and listen to these people. And so we did that for the first time in 2023, and we're repeating it now in May, from the 15th to the 18th. We have amplified to one more day. We have very interesting people coming to talk about barefoot and bitless and natural horsemanship, but also about the emotional world of the horse, which is really important once we realize they're sentient beings. And many people still don't realize that a lot of people still think horses are dumb, and they're highly sensitive, highly intelligent animals. And I think we really need to get very basic information out to many people who are dropping out, or they're being challenged by the current horse paradigm, and they're looking for other ways. We want to provide some answers to that through this event. For me, the dream or the vision is that the horse world would get rid of what I call the caging of the horses. Confinement for horses needs to stop. For me, the future of horses is horses that are on land. We're putting them back on land, and they're being able to do land management at the same time that they're actually benefiting from being in contact with that. At the same time, I think it's very important that we reinvent our relationship, or the way we relate to horses and things we do with them. So for me, activities need to become more collaborative instead of more competitive. I think the whole competitive paradigm in the horse world is a very unhealthy one right now, and we need to heal a lot of that. Not only horses, but also people need to heal from all the abuse that's going on in this world. And maybe we can reinvent the competition world. I'm not sure about whether that's possible, but we can definitely imagine and discover new ways in which we can do many interesting, fun, and collaborative activities with them. So that would be my dream vision for the horse world in the future. Because we need to learn from the very bottom what means to have a horse, or what is a horse. And since children are being taught how to ride only, there's this entire world that's being forgotten about what the horse's needs are as a species, as a herbivore. If we have them as pets, and I don't like that word, if we have them as companions, I would say, or if we have them as team members, that you're doing a co-working relationship with your horse. I think all these things need to be addressed from the bottom, so that we can really learn how to coexist with them in a more coherent way, that we're actually really not damaging or really not abusing, because we know what it means to abuse. Right now, there's so much of it that is normalized, we cannot even see it. And it's not happening fast enough, and there's too many horses and too many people suffering because of this. We have chosen the kind of speakers that in a way are speaking for me in many aspects, with their experience and their expertise. So they're going to bring in, I think, a lot of very interesting knowledge and points of view that are not really mainstream yet. So what it means, for example, biologically appropriate horse food, what does that mean? It's definitely not industrial synthetic food, so but what is it then? And if we're thinking about what if the horse is a sentient being, how does it perceive the world? How does it perceive humans? And I think we have Dr. Emily Keeson or Lucy Reese, or we have Dr. Jeff Tucker. These people have enormous experience from a scientific perspective, and also their entire journey with horses takes them to many places that they can now bring a lot of knowledge to this event. And I think it will be very enriching for the people who are all going to assist, and also people who are hearing these things for the first time. This conference is really not targeting anyone specifically, because I think it's interesting for everybody in the horse world. Anybody who is starting, anybody who left the horse world because they were horrified and didn't want to participate in what was going on. It is interesting for professionals to come and have different points of view, and also listening to colleagues and what they're working on and what information they're gathering, and share that. It's interesting for the average person who has a horse and wants to learn new perspectives. Like maybe you have your horse in a horse center, but you figure out that the food that it's getting and the way that you're confining it is not making it a healthy horse, and you're not having a healthy relationship with this horse. and it will give you a lot of knowledge and ideas about how to improve your relationship or how your horse can live a healthier and happier life. So I think it's really for everybody. We'll even have children there who will be listening and experiencing this also, because it's not only lectures, there'll be a lot of practical workshops at the same time.
Okay.
I think that there will be people who will be dropping their jaws and opening their eyes and hopefully have a wider perspective of the horse world and what is available and how fascinating it can be to open up your mind and visualize a new paradigm. So at the same time, I hope people can dream up a whole new horse world by coming to see and listen to our speakers. I think it'll be very interesting. Right, so we're in the process of turning the Horse Life Experience, which was just a platform from which to be able to create this event. And we also created the Horse Life Academy, and we had a program last year of 7 modules, weekend modules, where people were able to get deeper into each of the subjects from the last event, the last conference. So we're going to repeat the Horse Life Experience, but it's most likely going to become a foundation called the Horse Life Foundation. And the idea is that it becomes a legal structure that then can take forth and broaden its influence and its capacity to bring all these messages out to a wider audience. So we'll be focusing on domestic animals and how domestic horses and how their lives can be improved. We're going to create a model equestrian center of the future where we hope to give an example of what can be done and how we could actually have domestic horses having a very high level of welfare and well-being whilst we're actually interacting and learning from them and having experiences or activities that riding is obviously part of that. And then at the same time we would like to work on managing funds and studies to projects in Spain that look for and observe the feral or wild horse populations in Spain. The most surprising experience is really to see people's faces when they're listening to new information and look at their eyes and see the wonder about how they could redefine their relationship with horses and how they could envision their equestrian life in a whole new way. And also to see how many young people are into this. In the last event, we had a lot of young people who really were on the bandwagon and really wanted to either come back to the horse world, or they were looking for answers because things were just, they were not resonating with what is going on in horse clubs and competition and whatever the horse world is offering now for young people. So I would mix a Spanish horse with one of Lucy's patocas, and that's the horse I think would represent the Horse Life Experience.
Thank you so much.